of the race in a crash with his former teammate, Steve Burns.
Yeah, and he's not happy about it, Mike. Joe, tell us what happened on the racetrack.
Well, yeah, I got to bite my tongue here a little bit, but Todd Bodine a good friend of mine, but he wrecked me on the back straightaway, uncalled for. I mean, I'd been on the outside of him. He knew I was there, and all of a sudden I was turning sideways on the straightaway, and when I got to the corner, I got turned again. And I don't know if he can't see there or what, but you know, I'm frustrated. Tore up the UAW Delphi Chevrolet was good. We took 2 tires. Maybe wasn't the thing to do, but the car was good. You know, we just need another stop, and you just don't wreck people like that.
So Nemechek is the first car out of today's race. Biggest gainer on pit stops, Jeff Green, came in 20th, came out 5th. As we restart with Mark Martin leading, Ricky Rudd and Jimmie Johnson.
Have Jerry Nadeau in that 10 car. Remember, he got one of his laps back after having to pit under green. He's up there trying to get another lap back.
Tony Stewart up to 8th. As looks like Jeff Green on the outside is paying the price for a 2-tire change.
Yeah, he's going backwards in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this place, you're in the corner so much, and the car bites so hard on this concrete that you almost abuse the left side tires as much as you do the right side.
Yeah, and of course, it's so tempting to take 2 and get way, way up there in the front. But it sure is ugly when you start going to the back.
You gain all those positions, Darrell, but it's only temporary.
Man, I want to be a comer, not a goer.
Ricky Rudd looking inside of Nadeau. Now, Jerry Nadeau is 1 lap down to Rudd, the second-place car. Trying to get within sight of Mark Martin out of turn 4.
And Nadeau's doing a really smart thing. He's moving up, letting those guys go. But he also knows that if there was a caution and he can stay close to the front, they're going to let him get another lap back.
I mean, Ricky Rudd, the 28, is the car that let him have that lap back a while ago. But, boy, they're stacking up over there coming off turn 2.
Yeah, that's the thing about a lap car being in the way or up there like that. You get annoyed after a while.
You see Todd Bodine in the 26 car there. Now, he's a lap down. And Steve Grissom in the 44 car, he's up there as well. He was penalized for pitting out of his box, so he's a lap down.
Nadeau gives way to Rudd. And now Jimmie Johnson looks to the inside. Let's go to Johnson's pit. Here's Matt.
Mike, back on lap 35, Jimmie Johnson was saying his car was a little bit free. How is your race car now, Chad?
Right now, right before that last stop, Jimmy said the car was really balanced. We were catching the leaders by about a 10th a lap right there. Busch Chevrolet, once again, running really good. The guys are doing a good job in the pits. This is a long, fast-paced race, so we're just going to try to hold our own until the end and see what happens.
They made a 4-tire change and no adjustments because he felt like the car, although it was loose and early in the run, was starting to come to him. To Dick Berggren.
ELLIOTT Sadler is driving one of the best cars that Pete has in the stable. This is the same car that finished second at Darlington. But they had trouble with their pit stop. They came in 6th, went out 14th. The problem, a lug nut hung up on the left front. Sadler now in 14th.
You know, the thing about that 48 car, Mike, Larry, is, you know, you expect a crew like that to miss the setup every now and then, but they are spot on every week. That car handles and runs every week.
Every type of racetrack.
Johnson in 3rd, a 2.5 seconds off the lead. Behind him, Bill Elliott, and our point leader, Sterling Marlin. Larry, we talked to Sterling at the top of the day. They were junk most of the weekend. They're okay. They're 5th place now.
Sitting in 5th after qualifying 27th. And we felt like in the first 50 or 60 laps, Darrell, if he could get to the top 10 without being sucked into an accident, that he would be okay here.
Looked like him and Glove made the right decisions, the adjustments they made to the car.
The 2 fastest movers right now are right behind Marlin. Tony Stewart and Rusty Wallace are coming to the front. They are 6th and 7th and closing.
And I tell you, walking through the garage this morning, taking my pole as I always do, a lot of fingers pointed at this 2 car of Rusty Wallace. And Tony Stewart, now remember in practice yesterday, he got into the wall. These guys almost went to a backup car, but they had to change the rear end housing, trailing arms, a lot of things, a lot of changes on that car this morning, and it's working out. We look at the telemetry here. This is a Rusty Wallace in the 2 car, almost 9,000 RPMs here at the end of the backstretch. This track is pretty symmetrical. You'll see the same maximum RPMs and straightaway speeds at the end of the straightaway.
And, buddy, let me tell you, they're cranking them up, too. They all got a lot of gear in these things. They're turning them $9 grand. I guess after 750 miles in Charlotte last week, 400 here is a piece of cake. But with that said, it takes about 3.5, almost 4 hours to run 400 miles here.
Carroll, take us for a lap or two here with Jeff Gordon.
You're down in the corner here. He's going into turn 3. And you see him, this is what we call diamond. He went up there a little bit. Now he's got the left wheel right back down on the apron. Comes up off of 4. You got to be real cautious right there because it's really a big transition. Drive hard down into 1. Let it slip up just a teeny bit and then get that good arc right down off to the corner there with the left front wheel on the apron. Down the back. Back straightaway bank 9 degrees, so it really pulls. You go down into third turn hard. Now, if he's got a really good car, he can cut it under Rusty right there and make the pass.
You know, watching that orange car up there, though, Darrell, Tony Stewart in the 20 car, where he seems to be so strong is right there. His car is rotating. He's able to pick that throttle up, and it looks like he gets back to the throttle about 4 car lengths before most of these guys.
Now Rusty, nothing was wrong with Rusty's car right there. He let Jeff Gordon go by. He slid up the hill and lets Jeff go by. He knows he's a little quicker. That's how you make a pass and not hurt either guy. And that's the more experienced veteran drivers, they know that. They know where to let people go by so it doesn't slow either one of them down.
Looks a little like road racing, Darrell, where you try to time those passes so it doesn't slow down either car.
Exactly.
Matt Kenseth, the pole winner, trying to climb from the back. He is now up to 20th place, leading this group. Michael Waltrip, Bobby Labonte, Ryan Newman, who also started out back, Robbie Gordon.
What I got all excited about was that Sterling Marlin turned that thing plumb sideways off of turn 4 there. So he's got to be just a little on the free side right now. And he immediately goes high.
When you go that high, that's a sign you're a little bit loose. You don't want to turn that steering wheel.
You just don't want to crank it hard left, so you start using more racetrack. Now, a lot of people think, well, it's pushing if it goes up there, but it's not. Usually it goes high when it's loose. You just don't want to crank the steering wheel to the left, so you use up more racetrack.
Well, we got a battle for second here. No longer a battle. Jimmie Johnson in the 48 car.
Doing an awesome job, buddy.
Keep pumping that driver up. Nice and smooth. Doing an awesome job. Everything just to coaching him, letting him know, hey, we see. You're doing good. We still got a long way to go here.
Tell me how good I am. I just want to be sure somebody's watching this race besides me.
Right. How do you like me now?
How you like me now?
Mark Momentum, 1 second ahead of the field here at Dover. Last Sunday night's winner at Charlotte, picking up right where he left off with his car owner Jack Roush here in attendance. Mark Martin leads at Dover. Mark Martin with a 1 second lead on Jimmie Johnson. Mark has now led 16 of his 32 Dover starts. Total of over 1,500 miles led on this track. He's a 3-time winner of the fall race. His teammates are faring well. Kurt Busch has climbed up to 16th. Matt Kenseth at 21st. As Busch, after this last pit stop, has really come on. He's up to 16th spot. Jeff Burton is 20th.
Boy, Busch has. I've been watching him. He's been reeling them in just one at a time. And, of course, you know, he ran good on the concrete at Bristol. And so I got to think that some of that information applies here.
Actually won a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race here, but definitely some adjustments they made on those first couple of stops has really brought him to life. You see on the Fox tracks here, he's about a half a lap behind our leader right now, Mark Martin.
And our Rent-A-Center serial scoring on Kurt Busch started way out back due to that crash and has come now to 16th position.
And you know, that crash was so uncalled for.
Yeah.
He was, 5th on his first lap, and he was going for more. Didn't get it.
The young guns have been misfiring a little bit this weekend. Watch Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ryan Newman.
Oh, yeah, they've been working on each other.
Do I have to say it? Hello, Newman.
Yeah, hello, Newman.
Well, a little bit what's going on right there also, the leader's only about 6 or 7 seconds behind them, so that definitely makes a difference.
Hello.
Newman and Craven had already gotten together when Earnhardt Jr. joined the party.
And I don't, you know, Newman may want to consider. Larry and I watched him when he went off break his qualifying run Friday, and we both stood there and I kept punching Larry. I said, he's going to spin it out. He's going to spin it out. And he did.
As he completed lap 2.
They need to join Todd Bodine in the NASCAR Witness Protection Program before long. Jeremy Mayfield made an unscheduled pit stop. Dick Berggren.
Well, they're not too sure exactly why he made that unscheduled pit stop, other than there is a problem in the left rear corner of the car, Mike. The left rear tire that came off on the prior pit stop indicated he had rubbed into something. Right now, the crew is huddled over the tire that just came off the car, and the wheel and the tire are loaded with grease. That's not right. Something's leaking on Jeremy Lakeville's left rear.
Sounds like maybe a rear end seal, or it possibly could be a O-ring and a caliper, a little brake fluid.
He's 2 laps down, and this early in the race, that it's going to be hard for it to make it without something tearing up back there.
Yeah, whatever it is, it'll get worse.
Doubleheader weekend next weekend. The Busch Series at Nashville, Winston Cup at Pocono. We'll have all the action for you on the Fox family of networks.
Me and Steve Burns will be over in Nashville calling that race next Saturday evening.
The Nashville Cats.
Somebody will walk out there with a nice new guitar.
How about our Daytona 500 winner, Ward Burton, Matt?
Mike, he's currently riding back in the 31st position. In happy hour, Ward Burton was complaining about the double deuce being loose. He was loose early in the race, but now he's tight. But the biggest concern for Ward is now he does not have any radio communication with his spotter. He cannot hear Rocky Ryan on top of the press box. So now Tommy Baldwin, his crew chief, is spotting him from turn 4 down the straightaway, while his owner, Bill Davis, has climbed on top of the team's transporter down in 1 and 2, trying to spot the rest of the racetrack. DW, you know how important it is to have your eyes on top of this racetrack. Spotters are very important.
Yeah, it makes you real apprehensive when you know your spotter you can't communicate with your spotter, because things happen so quickly here. You need all the advance warning you can get from somebody up here, not somebody down in the pits.
Spotters are important everywhere, but boy, this is definitely one of those places.
18th place, Casey Atwood and Steve Park battle.
Looks like, Larry, the guys all climb the hill after they get several laps on their tires. Seeing more and more cars start to use the high line. Starting to get up in that second and third groove. Steve. Park.
Yeah, I mean, definitely this is one of the places. Good thing about it, it's just happened over the last few years with the 2 or 3 grooves of racing, is that you can move your car around to best suit how your car's handling. Maybe it runs a little better up top. Maybe it runs better down low on fresh tires. Then when you get some laps on your tires, it'll work a little better as you move the car up a little bit.
Park tries the bottom, slides it right in there, but off of 2, you can see, as Darrell said, he has to pedal it. He just can't keep his foot down and complete the pass.
No, you've got to have the whole track over there to make that pass on the bottom, and that guy on the outside's got to give it to you, because, you know, he can't just slam on the brakes.
Here's a fellow who's backing up. Ricky Craven is back to 22nd place.
Yeah, I think that fender is probably, as they go along, that fender will be a bigger factor, more of a factor, because as the tires go away, you need that aerodynamic downforce.
And I'm sure one thing that Mike Bean, his crew chief, is thinking, you just don't want to give up any track position trying to fix that thing. But as he continues to slide backwards at the back of the field, you're going to have to take the joke and go ahead and try to fix that thing.
You're line, baby. Just right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be on further review. We should have fixed it when it happened.
As Craven backs up, the car that's coming to the front is Robbie Gordon. Gordon started in 29th position. He's now restarted in 29th at lap 51. He's now moved up to 16th.
Here you see with the Fox track, watching his interval. He's shrinking just a little bit, but that's a little over, about a half a lap, a little over a half a lap behind our leader right now, Mark Martin. And remember, this is his last weekend that he'll be working with his team and his crew chief, Gil Martin. Next week, headed to Pocono, these 2 RCR teams, Richard Childress Racing, Kevin Harvick's group, Robbie Gordon's group, they'll be swapping teams.
There's some good cars all back in here. Bobby Hamilton's running really good right now, and some others that are back in the pack that I think are going to have good days.